Hello, this is Brant from tradeguild.blogspot.com, and it is July 27th, actually July 28th. It's 12:40 a.m. and the market kind of fizzled out. It looks like the bulls could not keep their hands on the horns, and more or less, I think we're going to be heading for some down days here. Like we've mentioned, like we've been talking about, tech just did not show any leadership. It actually lagged behind the S&P and behind the Dow. And tech is actually the worst performing today. The Russell 2000 led all of the major indexes down. And, you can't have any sustainable long-term rally with tech underperforming in that way. So anyway, I want to bring you a video of a couple short positions that I've been in or that we've had on the blog that we featured, and kind of some of the logic behind those, because if anything is becoming clear to us, it's that even though we're finding these nice looking long setups, ascending triangles and pullbacks and pennants and stuff, they're just not working. And the trend is your friend until it ends, and the trend is down, and for the most part we should be trading shorts. So I said, let's use this opportunity, this little rally, as a chance to just get in there and lock in some short positions, and hopefully you did that. So here's one of mine, TTMI, TTM Technologies, which I did a video on July 20th, so you can reference that. It's been mentioned on the blog July 5th, 12, 20, and 25. And more or less, I've been in since, I don't know, late June or early July. But this is kind of like a head and shoulders type of a top formation or complex top. And basically what you have here is a shoulder, left shoulder, head over here, and right shoulder. And what you look for, in a nutshell, not going into too much detail, what you look for in volume is a pretty good volume on that left shoulder. It's still a healthy market. And then on this next advance that forms the head, you look for less volume. And then finally on the right shoulder, generally you'll have less volume going into it and more volume coming out of it. So this is not textbook, but it's close enough. The break of the neckline, and this is the neckline, you connect these lows. And the break of the neckline generally happens on an increase in volume. We got a little bump there in volume when that happened. So our measuring formulation for these generally is from the neckline to the top of the head, and whatever that number is, you'd expect to see from the neckline down. So if it was $5, you'd expect a move from the neckline down $5. So TTMI, let me clear the screen, has this head and shoulders, and I mentioned it on, let's see, July 5th. So let's see what that looked like on July 5th. Let me just zoom in here for you. And I think it's right there. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. So you could see what I was doing here. I was looking at this bump up into the 50-day moving average, which is acting as resistance up here, and saying, okay, let's short it right there. And should the stock go the other way and break up through that 50-day moving average, then you stop out at a small loss. And that's the name of the game, because we're wrong more than we are right in most cases, and we can still make money, and that's okay, but you have to honor your stops. You have to keep your losses small and let your winners run. So following in that concept, we shorted right here close to that resistance level. That's an obvious place to short, and I got this nice move down through the neckline, which was nice. Let me zoom in a little bit tighter here now that we're looking at this section of the chart. And then it kind of bumped back up, as they will commonly do, maybe half the time. It bumped back up into resistance, which is the neckline. That was former support, and when that's broken, it becomes resistance. So again, and I don't know what the date is here, maybe you're on the 20th, let's see. Yeah, okay, here's the 20th, and this is when I said again, okay, this is another short. This is a good time to short it. I brought it out on the blog again, so that would be right there. So obviously, if you get a move above this neckline, above resistance, you stop out. So the risk is pretty minimal, and the reward at this point is, from the neckline to the top of the head down. So that's a nice reward. And today, this stock darn near fulfilled that expectation. I was saying I was looking for between 750 and 8, and it was down to about 850 today. It was down almost 30% today. I closed out half of my position when it was down about 22%. I'm gonna let the other half ride, and basically if I get a little bit of a rally, it comes up a little bit in this area, I would short it again and jump back in on a full position. So that worked out really well, just pretty much like we planned it. And that just goes to show you, these beautiful looking bullish patterns aren't working, but these beautiful looking short patterns are. And look at the 50-day moving average here. The trend is down. So that's TTMI. A couple other things I want to point out real quick, and you can go back to the July 20th video to really get a in-depth analysis of what we're looking at. But one other thing you want to look for in these head and shoulders is a confirmation and a favorite indicator. Now, I like TSV 38, which is plotted down here in the bottom window in red. And you see it's nice and healthy. It's nice and strong up here. It's above that 0 line, which is right in here. And then we come to that head, and it's less. We have a higher price, but a lower peak in TSV. I'm scribbling now. Okay. So we're looking for confirmation. This is confirming that head and shoulders. We get over to the right shoulder, and it's all the way down below the 0 line at this point. That's telling us there's distribution occurring at this point. There's no price strength. There's no technical strength. And that's good confirmation for us. So we like that also, and you can see this on the July 20th video. The MACD, the MACD divergence right there. You can see basically we have a slope heading down on MACD while price is rising. That's a divergent situation. That's telling you something is wrong with this stock. Possibly the end is near. Not to be too dramatic. I want to show you another thing here. Today you can see I'm going to skip back one day. Let me bring this chart out a little bit bigger. I'm going to skip back one day. Here's what money stream looked like yesterday. This red line up here. You can see it's up here fairly high. And then today, look what happens. It just plunges. So these indicators are telling us, and BOP plunges bright red over here. TSV plunges. These indicators are telling us, what we already see in price and volume. There's huge selling going on there. That's massive technical damage, and that's not going to be corrected overnight. My last little thing I want to show you is my trend channel, and you can see more or less that basically, if you're familiar with how this channel works, it's a custom channel I wrote, and a move above this the top channel line on a short would be a stop. So if price moved up above that, you stop out. So basically we want to let our winners run. So we got into this position back here. Once it started trending, we used this trend channel, and we captured this move from $14.50 down to $9 and change today, and it's going to keep on going. So you want to let those winners definitely run. I'm going to try to show you. I'm going to do probably a couple of videos tonight, but let me try to show you. I have a couple seconds left on this one. NTAP, and this was a fantastic. Oops, what did I do? Hold on. Okay. This was a fantastic looking short setup, and I'll show you why real quickly. I have a trend line. There's a lot of different ways to draw trend lines, but this is just rough of support here. Here's support. Here's support. The price breaks through on huge volume down here below support. You can see TSV also moves below that 0 line, and then we get a rally up to former support, which has now become resistance. And if we look closely at this rally, and this is really what you want to look for, you want to look for a rally into resistance to short, and you want to look for this. You see that? Diminishing volume on a rally. Stock is rallying. The volume should be increasing. It's not. It's petering out. There's no buyers left to push this thing higher. So there you have it. That is what you want to see in a textbook short. And we got this engulfing, not an engulfing, but a big down candle today. So more downside to come. More videos to come. I'll be back.